Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode. So in last episode we had the season simulation and we've made the playoffs yet again, even though we did have a lot of off-season retirements last year, and we're going to be facing off against a familiar rival in the Sweden Super Swedes in the first round. So their team, I think, had some big changes since we played them last, because obviously they had some guys getting older. So here is their roster for the playoffs, just in case you forget. So they have Ola Hagelin, Amari Goran, and Tate Cook. So they're a pretty young team. Like, they do have some good veterans like Nico Kapanen here, Frederick Modine, and then they also have Martin Wallace, Jeffrey Haskins, Udes, Salcido, Nash, Dodge, and Riley. So they only have like two veterans on their forward core, but those two veterans are pretty decent. And then defensively, as you can see, they have still pretty young defensive core as well. I think they drafted every single one of these guys too, so they've been going heavily on the defense, it seems like. And then goaltending wise, this is where they're really weak, because they do have an injury to their starting goaltender who's an 89. So Justice McLean, who's usually the backup goaltender, and he's not really the greatest backup goaltender, he's going to be the starter. And then they also had to call up, I guess, Sergei Nabokov from the AHL. As you can see, currently Levesque is out with an injury. And then these are their depth guys, Whitman and Alto. So anyways, let's get into this first round of the playoffs. But first, let's actually see how long Levesque is out for, because I don't think I did that in the last episode. Because if he's out the entire round, we have a very good shot at beating them because of that goaltending tandem. Because it's basically like what we had to face in Sweden. And he's going to be back in 11 days. So that means he's going to be back for when? Let's just see when the 17th is. But he will be back this round, which really blows, because I don't want to face off against him. Even though he's not necessarily the greatest 89 goalie. So he's back on the 17th, which means if we could eliminate them in 4 games, we should be fine. But if there's a 5th game, he could be back for then, or for the 6th game. And we don't want him to come back in and close up the series for them. So get into game number 1 on home ice. See if we could get some wins here early in the series to set the tone a bit. So first period, and it is 1-0 for Sweden. Not a good start. Their veteran Frederick Modine comes through on the 11th shot for the Sweden Super Swedes, beating Ross Carter. We have 10 shots on goal, so we're being outshot just barely. Hopefully we could bounce back here in the second period, and no goals still for us. We're being outshot 30-14, so Ross Carter is on his game, which is what I like to see, but the offense has just been nowhere, because we just had 10 shots in the first period. We only had 4 shots in the second period, and they had like 19 shots, so they outshot us like 19-4 in that period. Come on, boys, let's tie this up. Let's be the cheese team that has like barely any shots and still wins. And they go up 2-0, and it's Frederick Modine again. But Forsberg pulls us within 1. The veteran, probably in one of his last seasons. Penalty kill, nicely done. Power play, nope. Last 5 minutes. And time winding down, and we're going to lose 2-1 in game number 1 because of Frederick Modine, who probably did what he did in Tampa Bay, because in 2004... he was really good with Tampa Bay in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. So he's doing the same thing here. And the same guys assist on both of those goals for him. And then Forsberg from Zubov for us. Not good when your 36-year-old's the only one that could score. But Ross Carter was brilliant in that game. And just not enough to get the victory, apparently. So I'm not going to change anything with our lines yet, but let's get into the second game, and hopefully we could bounce back from that, because we still have technically home ice in the series. We don't want to go down 0-2 to Sweden, because then they could play really good on home ice. And we don't want them to win games, because Levesque could be back soon too. First period of game 2, and it's 2-0 for us, so that's a way better start. Sam Strbek scores against his country's team, I guess you could say. And Brian Pierce, yeah, it's Brian Pierce, scores to make it 2-0 for us. That's his first playoff goal, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Shots are 10-8 in favor of Sweden. Second period, and it's 3-0 for us, so we're having a way better game. Boudreaux making it 3-0. We're being outshot 21-15, but we're up 3-0. So, yeah, their goaltending is being a bit of an issue this time around. Let's go this to 8 times. I can't even see the... There you go, 8 times. Because I can't even see the score clock thing because my laptop's blocking it, so I should probably change that. Grabeshkov makes it 4-0 for us. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Penalty kill, nicely done. They're still out shooting us badly in this game, which is not good really, but we're going to come through here with a nice 4-0 win on home ice to bounce back from a 1-0 or 2-0 loss. So we shut them out after they shut us out. So Sam Sturdwick from Ryland Keefe and Peter Forsberg, Pierce from Finger and McCardle, Boudreaux from Sturdwick and Zadorov, and Grabeshkov from Drury and Sturdwick. So Sturdwick is the 3-point game. Nicely done, Sturdwick. And then Ross Carter playing really good again, 36 saves, and Grabeshkov, the third star, with 1 goal. So Ross Carter's been really good in the first 2 games of the series. He's made like 77 saves, I think, in 2 games, and he's allowed only 2 goals. What he did during the regular season, because I think he's probably the goalie that's going to win the Vezina this year, which is nice to see again, because he's won one before, I believe, and this would be his second. Okay, now we shift to Sweden. Let's see if we could get a win here. First period, and it is scoreless after 1. Okay, we're out shooting them for a change, 13-9. So good defensive game for both teams. Second period, and still scoreless. Shots are still pretty tight, 24-22, but nobody has scored yet. Hopefully we could score a goal here in the third. Penalty kill, nicely done. Come on, boys. Who wants to be that hero for us? Power play, 5-on-3 power play, and it's a long one, and we finally score. Rylan Galchenyuk makes it 1-0. I think it's Rylan Galchenyuk. Or is it Ryan? I don't know. But Dodge ties it up for them late. Are we going to overtime? Yes, we are. So shots are close, 32-30. So this is a very tight game. Both goalies playing good, and defense, of course, playing good. The offense hasn't really been there for both teams, but let's see who comes through with the OT winner here. Come on, boys. Power play early into overtime, and there's the winner from us, and it's Peter Forsberg scoring against his former team. Or not his former team. Well, you could kind of say former team because he did technically play for the Sweden national team. But playing against his hometown crowd in, isn't he from like, I don't even know how to pronounce that country, that city's name, that one with the O, where the Sedins are from. Anyways, Galchenyuk is from Darmor, Drury, and Peter Forsberg from Darmor and Galchenyuk. So good game for Galchenyuk and Darmor, 2 points each. And another great game from Ross Carter, actually. 30 more saves to add to those saves. So he's been very good in the series, and surprisingly, McLean's been decent for them as well. So we've won 2 in a row, and we have a 2-1 series lead here. Hopefully we could win this game because we're getting closer to when Levesque is back for them. So if we could go up 3-1, then we have a good shot at least ending it when Levesque is back. So here we go, game number 4. Can we take a 3-1 series lead headed home and have a chance to end them there? First period, and it's 2-0 for us. Good job, boys. Zubov and Drury come through, and Levesque is already back, actually, so he's back a bit early, which is kind of risky for them because if he gets injured in this game, then he might be out the rest of the round, or he should be. So, yeah, Zubov and Drury, good job, boys. Shots are 9-8 in favor of Sweden. Second period, and it's 4-0. Levesque is just not playing like himself because he's still probably injured for another 3 days. So Poza and Beshkov get goals, and we're a period away from going up 3-1 because I don't know if that was a smart decision for them to put Levesque in net. Drury makes it 5-0 because Levesque, even though he's good, he's still battling an injury right now. Yeah, and he's letting in a lot of goals, and this is going to definitely hurt his confidence going into the next game. 6-0 for us. I think Drury has a hat trick. Okay, so we win that game by a score of 6-0. Sorry about that. I just had to sneeze literally right after this game simulated. Oh, I hate sneezing in the morning. Okay, so Zubov from Galchenyuk and Forsberg, Drury from Grabeshkov and Keefe. Pozo 21 seconds into the second period from Zadorov, Gerbeshkov from Drury and Stroblik. And then Drury from Keefe and Gerbeshkov, and Drury from Keefe and Gerbeshkov again. So Drury had like 3 goals and an assist in that game. Ryland Keefe had like 3 assists, and Gerbeshkov had like 3 assists. So I think that was the second line, right? Or is that the top line? Yeah, that might be the top line. They've been playing really good. So yeah, Drury gets first star with 4 points. Gerbeshkov the second star with 4 points. Oh yeah, he had a goal as well. And then Ross Carter gets third star with 23 saves. So we didn't allow them to get a lot of shots, but Ross Carter picks up another shutout in this round. And we have a 3-0 series lead headed home, or 3-1 series lead headed home. And we've only allowed in 1 goal in our last 3 games. And we've only allowed in 3 goals in the series so far. So Ross Carter is playing out of his mind right now. So can we close out this series on home ice? Hopefully we can do this, boys. See if Levesque is still injured almost. First period, and it's 1-1, so they managed to score this time around. Wallace opens the scoring, but Forsberg answers back for us. Shots are 12-6 in favor of your Avalanche. Second period, and it's 2-1 Sweden. So Sweden's actually got the lead for a change going into the third. This is the most goals almost they've scored in a game against us. Shots are 16-15 in favor of us, so hopefully we could tie it in this third period. Let's get this to 8 times. There you go. Come on, boys. Power play for us. We don't score on it. Looks like Levesque might be having a bounce back game. And it's 3-1 for Sweden, so it looks like we're going to be going back to Sweden for at least one more game as Haskins scores. And Kapanen scores also on the power play. This is not a good game for Ross Carter. 4 goals against on 23 shots. And we lose 4-1, and we are going to be headed to a game 6. So our only goal was Forsberg from Keefe and Galchenyuk. 3 stars are probably all there, guys. Yep, Levesque definitely had a good bounce back game, which that's what I was afraid of. Hopefully we could get to him like we did in game 5 or game 4. And yeah, hopefully we could score 6 goals on him again and end the series. So here we go, game 6 in Sweden. If we don't win this, we're going to be headed to a game 7 on home ice. We need to get a W, boys. First period, and it is 2-1 for us. Zubov and Keefe with goals for us, and Salcido for them. Still a pretty tight game nonetheless. 13-10 the shots in favor of us. Second period, and it's 3-1 for us. Good job, Gerbeshkov, as we're a period away from taking this series. Let's go to 8 times and see if we could win this series. Come on, boys. Let's get insurance, just because 2 goals might not be the most safest lead. And there's one from Pozo, and Zubov gets to Levesque. And yep, we're going to be advancing to the second round as we just scored 6 goals again against Levesque. He doesn't play like an 89, really. 6 goals against in 2 games out of the last 3. And we win that game 6-1. So he's not very consistent, that goalie for them. But we move on to the second round. So Zubov from Galchenyuk and Forsberg, Keefe from Henry and Gerbeshkov, Gerbeshkov again from Keefe and Henry, Pozo from Zadorov and Boudreau, Zubov from Galchenyuk and Forsberg, and Henry from Pierce and Darmour. 3 stars in that game. Henry had 3 points, which is pretty surprising for a defensive defenseman. Zubov gets second star with 2 goals, and Keefe the third star with 2 points. Okay, so let's take a look at our player stats for that first round, and then we'll see who we're up against in the second round of the playoffs. So 7 points for Gerbeshkov already in the playoffs, so that top line is definitely doing some good work so far. Hopefully they can continue that into the second. So yeah, Forsberg also has 7 points, has an 81, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, Gerbeshkov, Forsberg, Keefe 7 points, Drury and Galchenyuk 6 points, and then 4 points for Zubov, Strudwick, Henry, Darmour, Zadorov have 3 points, Pozo, Boudreau, Pierce have 2 points, and then Finger, McCardle have 1 point, and then Ulanov, Vladi, and DiPietro have no points as well. So, and they're all more defensive defensemen, I think. Yeah, I think they're all defensive defensemen, which makes sense. Yep, they're all defensive defensemen. Goalie-wise, Ross Carter was insane, going 4-2 with 2 shutouts, a .955 save percentage, and a 1.33 goals against average, only allowing 8 goals in that span. Good job, Ross. That's why I kept him over somebody like Hines, because he's just been like a really good goaltender for us for almost getting closer to 10 years, I guess. Well, actually, 7 seasons so far. Like this season, I'm pretty sure he's going to win another Vezina, which is pretty great. Because to win 2 Vezinas by the time you're 27 is pretty good. Considering I'm in real life 23 and I have never won a Vezina, but, you know, I'm not a goaltender, so... Okay, let's see who we're up against in the second round of this playoff run. Hopefully, it's a team we could beat, and hopefully it's a team we don't really have much history with. Like, if it's San Jose, that would not be good, because... yeah, San Jose has Hines, so... And it is San Jose, what a surprise. So we're going to be going up against Hines, so we're going to find out if that was a good move or not, me letting go of Hines. Oh, man. They won the first round in 6 games just as much as us. Yikes. San Jose, we've played you, like, this might be our 3rd straight season playing you. That's why it kind of sucks that Hines went there instead. Like, I was hoping he would go to an Eastern team, but let's take a look at those Sharks, even though we've seen them, I think, recently. So, Orr, Corbin, and Sturm. Sturm's the only veteran, but he's 31 still. Oh, they actually have Shane Doan as well. Oh, yeah, because they were making a bunch of trades at the deadline. I remember that now. Doan, Simard, and Valaket. Strome, Allison. Wow, they have Jason Allison as well. And Joel Dixon, not Jason Dixon. So they got 3 veterans in their top 9. And in their 4th line, Petit, Beach, and McDonald. So overall wise, their forward core is insane, especially their center depth. Like an 84 on your 4th line. He's supposed to be on the 2nd line, but damn. Yeah, that's a good team. Defensively, they're also pretty balanced. Hobson and Trainer, Pody and Tverdovsky. So you got 2 veterans right there. And then Shattenkirk and Esch. Goalie-wise, they got their number 1 because of Hunt. He's there for 2 years at 6.39. Yikes. And then they also got Upshaw as their backup, who looks like he's doing pretty good as well. He has played actually playoff games this year, but he was 0-2 and he just played really good. I don't know if he played a full game. Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he came in relief, which means Hines, yeah, he has not been... Yeah, he hasn't been as good as Carter in the playoffs in terms of save percentage and stuff like that, but he could still probably beat us because he knows all about us. And in depth-wise, they have Jacob Pelletier, Gaspard Lebel, and Trenton Ness. So, overall-wise, I'm pretty terrified of their team in a sense because I think they basically have just as good of a roster as us pretty much. And we do still have them beat goalie-wise, but they have a legitimate starter in comparison to Sweden did. Like, Sweden's starter was out for the first 3 games or whatever it was, so... Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Colorado Avalanche franchise mode. So, in next episode, we will take it to the playoffs as we hope to beat Hines in the San Jose Sharks and get on to that conference finals. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time.